People ask me all the time, how do RMDs work? My answer to them, watch this video. I am Antonio Cibella. I'm a financial advisor with Vision Wealth Management, so it makes sense that people ask me financial questions like, what's a required minimum distribution? In today's video, we're going to go over three things. One, what is a required minimum distribution? Two, when do they start? And three, how much is a required minimum distribution? So topic number one, what is a required minimum distribution? The answer, it's the time when the government makes you start to take money out of your retirement accounts. Yes, they make you start taking money out of your retirement accounts. Why would they do a thing like that? Money. They've given you this tax deferral for all of these years on your 401k, on your IRA. You haven't paid taxes as that balance has grown and grown and grown. And now it's time to pay the piper. Now it's time to start to take money out of that account, which means it's taxable. As you take distributions from these accounts, they have to be taxed. The government has decided that even if you don't need the money, it's time to start to draw it out so they can start to receive their piece. Moving on to topic number two, when do required minimum distributions start? Now, this has been a moving target, and a little secret for you, it's going to continue to move because of some legislation that just happened. So, for years and years, required minimum distributions started at age 70 and a half. Yep, 70 and a half. Your half birthday is a thing that the IRS likes to do with retirement planning. Nobody celebrates that, but for whatever reason, 70 and a half was the thing for a lot of years. At the end of 2019, Secure Act was passed, Secure 1.0, and it said, hey, we're going to move this date back from 70 and a half to age 72. And so people have had to start distributions at age 72 for a couple of years now. At the end of 2022, effective January of 2023, they moved back to age 73. So that's where we're at right now. Required minimum distributions have to start at age 73. I know it gets confusing. Secure 1.0, Secure 2.0. What's next? Secure 3.0? At any rate, required minimum distributions have to start at this point at age 73. But wait, there's more. It's going to move again. So 10 years down the road in 2033, required minimum distributions will push out to age 75. So if you haven't started your distributions by that point, you won't have to start them until age 75. Right now, age 73 is the start point. Eventually, age 75. Important to note, all of these changes, 70 and a half to 72 to 73, someday to 75, none of it matters if you're already taking your required minimum distributions. If you hit an age where you had to start them, same for you. Doesn't change anything about this. This is just for when new folks will have to start based on their age at that time. Topic number three, how much is a required minimum distribution? Nothing's ever easy in retirement planning. I guess that's a good thing, because if everything was easy, I wouldn't have a job, and I like my job, and so I'm glad that I get to be here and explain this stuff to you. To answer your question, how much is a required minimum distribution? What you do is you take the balance of your account on 12/31, December 31st of the prior year. What was the account worth? You're going to divide it by a factor that appears in the IRS Uniform Life table. That's going to give you the dollar amount. Now, that sounds really confusing. In plain English, what it means is this: the older you get, the higher the percentage of money that you have to take from your retirement accounts, your qualified retirement accounts. That percentage at this point, if you're age 73 and you're about to start your required minimum distributions, equates to roughly 3.77%. And so you'd say, okay, here's what my accounts were worth on December 31st. We're talking 401ks, traditional IRAs, simple IRAs, SEP IRAs, 403bs, 457 plans. Anything that's got that tax deferral where you got a deduction on the way in, generally speaking, is going to qualify for a required minimum distribution. Note, I did not say Roth IRAs. Roth IRAs, not subject to required minimum distributions. That's part of why financial advisors like them so much. They're great for long-term growth and tax-free money. So you don't have to calculate those Roth balances when you're looking at your required minimum distributions. But you do have to take the total of all of your other stuff. And in the first year, your first required minimum distribution, about 3.77%. It's going to go up each year, the percentage that you have to take, that is. I don't know if your actual required minimum distribution will go up or down, because that depends on what the balance in your qualified retirement plans are on 12/31. But you're going to take that number total them all up. You're going to find your factor. Technically, you divide it, but if you were looking for the percentage, you can find that, or your financial advisor would calculate it for you, and that's going to tell you how much your required minimum distribution is for the year. So we did it. We talked about the what, the when, and the how much of required minimum distributions. You probably don't get the question as often as I do, but the next time somebody asks you about required minimum distributions, you'll know what to tell them. Go watch Antonio's video. I'll see you next time.